Lamb chops are often considered a premium, indulgent cut of meat, prized for their rich, savory flavor and tender texture. For those following the carnivore diet, a high-protein, zero-carb eating plan that exclusively focuses on animal products, lamb chops might seem like a natural and satisfying choice. They're flavorful, easy to prepare, and full of fat, which fits the high-fat, low-carb macronutrient profile that many carnivore dieters seek. However, despite the allure of their delicious taste and fatty goodness, there are several concerns and potential risks associated with regularly consuming lamb chops within the context of the carnivore diet, particularly when considering long-term health and sustainability. Lamb, especially in the form of chops, is a fatty meat. While fat is an essential part of the carnivore diet, providing a significant source of energy, the high saturated fat content found in lamb is cause for concern. Saturated fats have long been linked to an increased risk of heart disease. These fats can raise low-density lipoprotein, LDL, cholesterol levels in the blood, often referred to as bad cholesterol. Higher LDL cholesterol levels contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, which can lead to atherosclerosis, increasing the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases. While the debate about the relationship between saturated fat and heart disease continues, the overwhelming consensus from many health organizations remains that high intake of saturated fats should be limited, particularly for individuals at risk for heart disease. Consuming lamb chops on a regular basis, especially on a carnivore diet that heavily features fatty meats, may pose a long-term risk to cardiovascular health. Another key concern when consuming lamb chops as part of a carnivore diet is the lack of diversity in nutrients. Lamb is rich in protein, iron, and vitamin B12, but it lacks many essential nutrients that are found primarily in plant-based foods, such as fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients. Fiber, for example, plays an essential role in digestive health, regulating bowel movements, and preventing constipation. The absence of fiber in a diet heavy in lamb chops can lead to digestive discomfort and issues like bloating and irregularity. Over time, this lack of fiber can also increase the risk of more severe gastrointestinal problems, such as diverticulosis and colorectal cancer. A diet that excludes plant-based foods, like the carnivore diet, can also be deficient in essential vitamins, such as vitamin C and a variety of minerals that are crucial for overall health. Lamb chops, like other red meats, also contain compounds that, when cooked at high temperatures, may increase the risk of certain cancers. When lamb is grilled or pan-seared at high heat, it can form heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, toxic substances that have been linked to an increased risk of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. The more frequently lamb chops are cooked in this way, the greater the exposure to these harmful compounds, which may heighten the long-term risk of developing cancer. Additionally, while some methods of cooking, such as slow roasting or braising, may reduce the formation of HCAs and PAHs, they cannot eliminate them entirely. Regularly consuming fatty cuts of lamb like lamb chops, especially when prepared in these ways, could therefore contribute to an increased cancer risk over time. Another risk factor to consider when consuming lamb chops on the carnivore diet is the strain it may place on the kidneys. The carnivore diet, being extremely high in protein, can place significant stress on the kidneys as they work to filter out the waste products created from metabolizing protein. Over time, excessive protein intake can lead to kidney strain, and for individuals with pre-existing kidney conditions, it may accelerate the progression of kidney disease. While healthy kidneys may be able to handle the increased workload, long-term consumption of high-protein, high-fat diets like the carnivore diet could lead to kidney dysfunction and the development of kidney stones. Given that lamb chops are a rich source of protein, regularly consuming them without any variety in the diet could contribute to potential kidney issues over time. The environmental impact of regularly consuming lamb chops should also not be overlooked. Lamb, in particular, has a significant environmental footprint compared to other meats. It requires large amounts of land, water, and feed, and is associated with higher greenhouse gas emissions, particularly methane. Lamb farming is resource-intensive, and the meat's environmental cost is far greater than that of many other animal products, including poultry or fish. As climate change continues to be a pressing global issue, The environmental impact of consuming large amounts of lamb on a regular basis should be carefully considered. The carnivore diet, which often relies heavily on animal products like lamb, can contribute to increased environmental degradation due to the strain it places on natural resources and the planet's ecosystems. Moreover, while lamb chops are rich in certain nutrients like protein and iron, their nutrient density is not as varied or comprehensive as a more balanced diet that includes plant-based foods. A diet that consists almost exclusively of lamb and other animal products will inevitably lack essential vitamins, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that are crucial for preventing chronic disease and promoting long-term health. For instance, the absence of antioxidants in lamb chops means that the body will have fewer defenses against oxidative stress, which is linked to the development of heart disease, cancer, and premature aging. Similarly, the lack of plant-based compounds, such as polyphenol and flavonoids, leaves the body more vulnerable to inflammation and chronic diseases. The restricted nature of the carnivore diet, which encourages the consumption of lamb chops and other animal products to the exclusion of plant foods, can also lead to nutritional imbalances over time. Even though lamb is rich in certain essential nutrients, it lacks others that are key to maintaining optimal health. The absence of diversity in the diet increases the risk of deficiencies in vital nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and various vitamins that are abundant in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. These deficiencies can result in fatigue, muscle cramps, weakened immunity, and poor bone health, among other issues. In conclusion, while lamb chops may seem like a flavorful and satisfying choice for those on the carnivore diet, they come with a number of risks and potential drawbacks. The high saturated fat content in lamb can negatively impact heart health, while the lack of fiber and important micronutrients can lead to digestive issues and nutrient deficiencies. Additionally, the compounds formed during high-temperature cooking of lamb chops can increase the risk of cancer, and the excessive protein intake associated with the carnivore diet can place undue stress on the kidneys. Furthermore, the environmental impact of consuming lamb regularly is considerable, making it a less sustainable choice in the context of a larger global push toward more sustainable eating habits. If you're considering incorporating lamb chops into your carnivore diet, it's essential to weigh these risks and consider whether a more balanced approach to nutrition may be a healthier and more sustainable choice in the long run.